Hello everyone, this is Shubham Divakar over here and I welcome you all to the series wherein we solve lead code daily challenges. And the question that we have today is unique paths. The question is, a robot is located at the top left corner of a M cross N grid and it can only move either down or right at any point of time. So the robot is trying to reach the bottom right corner of the grid. Okay, so it starts from the top left and it has to finish here, which is the bottom right. All right. So how many possible unique paths are there for the robot? Now, given we have two ways of moving the robot, so it can move towards the right one step or downwards one step at particular move. So this problem is basically we'll first try to figure out a recursive way of this and then we'll move on to the dynamic programming approach from this. Okay, so let's first see whether it's recursion or not, and let's see how I decide which, whether a problem is having a recursive way to solve this. Recursion is involved in this problem. So let's move ahead to the solution part. Okay, so this is the grid that we are having. Okay, so the robot starts from here, which is 0 0. This would be 0 1, this would be 0 2, and consecutively this would be 1 0 1 1 1 2 2 0 2 1 2 2. All right, so we have to start from here and move towards this path, and we can always move in one of the two ways, like this is way or this way. So we do not need to think much. The only thing is we have to figure out how many ways by using these two moves we can reach here. So the total number of moves, the number of ways through which we can come over here, that has to be determined. Okay, all right. So moving ahead to the solution, what we will do is we'll start from here, and at first if we move from here, then from here also we have two ways, like this way and this way to move. But if we move from 0 to 0 to has only one way of moving, that is bottom, and again from here we have one way. So from 0 0 we have one way of moving to 2 2 is by one move, two moves, three moves, and by four moves. So in four moves we have one way of coming over here, and then from 1 1 we can again go down and again move to 2 2. So this is how basically we have to move from here. So okay, let's say we are not here and we have reached over here. If I have to think it in a, think from if I need to solve this problem, I'll start from here, because see, if we have to reach over here, so this is reachable by two ways. Either from here we can come, like we can come from here to here, or come from here to here. Okay, so given this is I and this is J, so this I J is reachable from I minus 1. Okay, so this is J minus 1, so I comma J minus 1, and this is also reachable from I minus 1 comma J. So these are the two ways from where it is reachable. Okay, so this I comma J can now be, this I comma J has two ways of reaching, which is this and this part. Okay, so let's say if I comma J is the path, and let's say f is a function, or in f of we need to reach f of ij. Okay, so at any point of time if we have to reach I comma J, we will be taking, we can reach f of I comma J from two paths. So this would be nothing but summation of f of I comma J minus 1 plus f of I minus 1 comma j. Like if we start from here, this would how we would be reaching f of I comma j. Okay, so now let's say we want to figure out how to code this part and what exactly do we need to do over here. So since we have this recurrence relation, okay, so we can see we are starting from bottom. So this is the bottom up approach over here which we are using. Now let's say we know that 0 comma 0 is reachable in one way, and not only 0 comma 0, every first row and first column is reachable in only one way. Like we can reach these places by only one way possible. All right, and that is very much understood because the 0 comma 0 can be reached in only one way, that and that is moving from 0 comma 0 to 1 0. 0 comma 2 is also reachable from 0 comma 1 in only one way, and that is moving towards the right. So these places are basically would be by default 1. Okay, so next thing that we would do is I am trying to implement this earlier method was the bottom up approach, but what I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to utilize these ones because we already know that this ones can be reachable when these places can be reachable in only one way. So now if we have to reach this 1 comma 1, in how many ways we can reach is, see, this can be reachable from here or from here. So this 1 comma 1 is reachable in how many ways? This 1 plus 1, that would be 2 over here. So what we are doing basically is in now this one is the bottom up approach, which I will not utilize. Okay, but we can code that also. So I would be utilizing this one part, see, because we already know by default that this can be reachable in one way, right? So we are using the information from here. So let's say this is I comma j, so this f, and let's say we have function f, so f of I comma j is nothing but f of I minus 1, or like this is reachable from the previous way. So I minus 1 would be this one, I 0 1, so I minus 1 j, or again the same thing, I comma j minus 1, and this will be applied for everyone. Like if we apply for 2 1, then also this is reachable in two ways, this way and this way. Now since this is reachable in two ways, this is one way, so this would be 3 over here. All right, and this is for m, and where m is 3 and n is 3. So given m is 3, n is 3, we can reach 2 in how many ways? So this is 3, this is, we have 1 over here, so again 3 plus 1 4, again 4 number of ways. All right, so let's check the example that we have. And since we have this relation and this is very similar to this one, so we already have a recurrence relation and we know what to store, and what exactly do we need to. Okay, yeah. So one thing to note from here is that this f of I comma j need not, I mean, see, if this is 1 comma, okay, let's say it's 2 comma 1. All right, so this would be 2 minus 1 1 comma 1, and this would be f of I is 2 comma 1 1 I minus 1 is 0 2 comma 0. So 2 comma 0, 2 comma 1 is reachable from 2 comma 0 and 1 comma 1. All right, so now again we need to calculate this 1 comma 1. So if we are implementing this in a recursion, what will happen is, now for f of 1 comma 1, we need to go to f of 0 1 and f of 1 0. Now let's say we want to reach 2 comma 2. So for 2 comma 2, again we need to come here 2 1, then for again 2 1 we need to call this 2 0 and 1 1. Now for again 1 1 we need to call 1 0 and 0 1. So we can see here that is 1 0 0 1, and all these are being called multiple times. So why not store the values as we are doing this in this matrix? So let's say we have a dp table, okay, or this table we have, wherein we know that these places can be reached by only one way, and we fill all the first row and first column by one. And then if we store like dp of ij is equal to, like if f can be replaced, like if f is nothing but df, where df is the name of the 2D array we are having. So df of I comma j would be nothing but df of I minus 1 j plus df of I j minus 1. So this need not to be calculated again and again, and simply we are storing the value over here in this part. So whatever values are being stored, we can use, and instead of calling the function again and again, we are simply using the values which were already calculated earlier. So I guess this is more or less simplified now. All right, and we will be coding this part. This is a very easy question to solve, and a good variation of this would be like, if you are allowed another move, that is diagonal. If diagonal move is allowed, then what we need to do, we need not do anything, but we can simply do d of f comma I minus 1 and j minus 1. Now this is specifically for, this is specifically for if diagonal moves are allowed. And this question has another variation, which is a minimum cost part. Like if we have a table wherein the cost is given, then we have to minimize the cost, so it would be nothing but minimum of d of f and these two parts, and that would do this uh, for the solution part. So now we are going to code this. So I'm erasing everything now. and let's head over. So dynamic programming is all about analyzation, how you analyze. And before that, you need to first, what you need to do is you need to first go for the recursive approach. Okay, so as we decided that what we will do is we'll first create a dp of size, and the result would be stored in n minus 1 m minus 1, dp of n minus 1 n minus 1. So that I forgot to tell, new int m minus 1 n minus 1. Okay, now we need to fill all the first rows and the first column. So the first row we need to fill, which it would be uh, storage equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus, and dp of 0, because we need to fill the first row. This would be 1. dp of I 0, this is the first column, and then we just need to fill the table, and the relation that we would be using is dp of I j is equal to dp of ij plus, or dp of ij plus is equal to dp of plus dp of this. Okay, so it would be the dp of I minus 1 j, or dp of I j minus 1. And j plus plus int I equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. Okay, we have to do here I less than m, because we have n number of rows and number of columns, and the result would be stored in dp of m and no, in dp of m minus 1 and minus 1. So let's run and check how this goes. It's taking a long time. Index out of bounds. Okay, we did some. Okay, so this will be mn. Because we need to create an array of size m comma n, and not m minus 1 and n minus 1. Okay, the answer is 1. Expected answer is 3. Okay, mn, yeah, it's cool. 0 j, j is the number of columns in the first row. First row would be 0 0 0 1. Okay, yes, this is also correct. Yes, then n dp of I j I minus 1 j. Okay, we have to put plus over here, not equal to. I guess they should do. So minor changes. Yeah, so expected answer is, so we need to submit now and check whether this works or not, and yes, this should do. So some minor typing. Okay, so this shows accepted. Yeah guys, so this was the solution. I will be posting the link to this solution as well as the question in the description part. Don't forget to check it out, and please subscribe to my channel, like it, and the most important thing is I have a website which is programworld.com. so this is the website that I have, and don't forget to come up here, check for the posts, and in case you have a doubt, don't forget to put up your doubts over here. So this is my website, and as you can see, I have posted a lot of things. The recent one was about TCS CodeVita. So yeah, thank you guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to come up here and post your doubts, for I would be adding a lot of problems in this DPE part. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you guys.